Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and I'm going to be having a look at a puzzle called Scientific Method by Toolcat today, but there is so much going on around the channel. So Simon has posted a solve of a cryptic crossword by Rodriguez from The Independent today, and it's a brilliant puzzle. Simon tweeted one of the clues from it, which I thought was absolutely fantastic, in which the clue was to a 9-letter word. The clue was lying conservative in number 10, endlessly partying, which is a fantastic clue. If you know anything about British politics, it will read as a severe criticism of the Prime Minister. But in fact, crossword clues being what they are and being thoroughly misleading most of the time, it is totally apolitical as an answer. It has nothing to do with politics at all, and that is one of the beauties of cryptic crosswords. Do check out that solve, and if you're interested in what I do on Friday evenings, and why would you be, I'm going to be posting in a couple of days on Patreon a recording of my Friday evening a few weeks ago, where I had a go in succession at the New York Times crossword, the listener crossword, and Matt Gaffney's meta crossword, for all released roughly at the same time on the same day. And I do like to sort of package them together. I enjoy doing those on a Friday evening. Now, the listener crossword, as I called it, turns out to be a numerical puzzle, which might actually be of interest to the people who aren't normally interested in the word puzzles. So do check that out when I post it on Patreon in a couple of days. Thank you to everybody who is on our Patreon site. You've still got a week left to enter the quite approachable Guess Again, and we've had so many entries. We are just flooded with entries. Well done if you got through those. Now, reminding me about engaging with the channel, last week I went round to our PO box. We now have a snail mail address where you can send us stuff. We did get one piece of advice: never do this. The stuff you'll get will be so weird. Well, thankfully that's not happened yet. We got a lovely letter from Crystal Gert, and I think Simon certainly mentioned it on the channel already, but we got this glorious letter from Topeka, Kansas, with enclosures from Crystal's two sons. 6-year-old EJ says, Simon, you are a master at Sudoku, and my mum likes to do Sudoku. I like to watch your videos and help my mum do it, and you're good at it. By EJ. Well, that is so cute. We were thrilled with that. Also, with his 4-year-old brother's Sagan's letters and numbers. There's definitely a 3 and a 6 in there. Excellent stuff from a 4-year-old. That is a young fan of the channel. I think his name is Sagan Hawking, which I think is a rather brilliant astrophysical name. Then we got this card, and Simon's definitely mentioned that Peter Venus, Piotr V, has had his first child, Emma Sophie, and this is the card announcing her birth. I think she was 4 weeks premature, which is terrifying to me. But many congratulations to Peter, to Emma Sophie, especially to Mariolane, the mum, who I know will have found that a very difficult process. I think anyone who's a parent is aware of that. And a further letter, which came from Rachel in Northwest Cork, and whose husband often asks her, are you listening to those two charming English fellas? Well, thank you. Thank you to Rachel and her husband. We were both in Northwest Cork. We passed at one. Simon and I went on a golfing holiday in Ireland. Between playing Old Head of Kinsale and Waterville in Kerry, which was the wettest place I've ever played golf. We were in a gale and basically rained off after 9 holes. It was astonishing. But in between that, we were travelling in between them, and we were either in Mill Street or Killarney. I suppose that's in Kerry as well. But in one of those towns, I remember Simon taking a call from his boss, who was in Central Europe somewhere, and then Simon acted as though I was his taxi driver in Canary Wharf, delivering him to a meeting for some reason. I can tell that, I think, since Simon left that job long ago. But Yeah, that's an intriguing memory from, maybe it was Killarney, and therefore not quite Cork, but never mind. It was a great holiday anyway. Now, enough nonsense reminiscing. But if you want to engage with us on Snailmail, it's in the description field, along with how to access our Patreon, how to get to the Discord site, where our apps are, and how you can get Sven's Sudoku pad and our merchandise. It's all there. But don't forget all the other stuff around the channel. It is, we think it's great content. We would, though. Now, talking of great content, Tallcat has featured on the channel 8 times, and I think almost every time Simon has done his puzzles, but I get to do this one. And it is just a killer Sudoku. I say just in the sense that there are not a lot of rules. Cages can contain, they have to contain different digits, so there's no repeats in the cages, and their sum is given. So those 5 cells add to 15, those 5 add to 17, etc. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Okay, I'm saying that's simple, but Tallcat's puzzles are not simple traditionally, so I'm guessing about 45 minutes. We will see how it goes. I have no idea. You can judge from the video length, although that might include me making various rickets along the way. Do play it on the first link under the video. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. And we'll get cracking with that 15 cage, because that has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the 5 minimum different Sudoku digits, and they add to 15. And that's the only given cage in the puzzle. These are all quite small cages in these 4 boxes. None of these are huge. The 17 cage in 5 cells, that has to have a 1, a 2, and a 3 in it. It's either 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 or 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. And I know that because I've kind of grown up with these cages and learning what can be in various type combinations that don't have too many possibilities. Okay, yeah, here's a good thing. Here's a good thing. And it's all symmetrical, this. Hang on. First of all, I'm going to put 1 and 2 in the 18 cage, because that must be the case. If you imagine not having a 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 adds up to 19. Now, look, these 2 cells, these are really important. They see all of these. This is vital. This is, what was it, a puzzle called Keystone recently, where we had a shape a bit like this. And the important thing is, these have to be 7 different digits, because that digit sees all of the ones in the cage and all of the ones in its column. And once that sees all these 6 cells and they all see it, then they must be 7 different cells. Yes, look, that's absolutely vital, because these 8 cells add up to 31, because the totals of the 2 cages involved are 14 and 17. Now, if they add up to 31 and these 7 are different, what does that say about this cell? Right, well, do you know the triangular number, the 7th triangular number? Why am I asking that? Because that is the total of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7, the minimum value of these 7 cells, because they all have to be different. And the number is 28. If you take that from 31, you get a maximum here of 3. So that's 1, 2, or 3. And this is exactly the same, because they add up to 31 too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 there, which is the minimum, adds up to 28. And this cell must be, again, 1, 2, or 3. And now we ask, where do the 3 low digits, 1, 2, and 3, go in box 3? This is brilliant. It's brilliant. Because if you think about that, the 10 cage has to have a low digit, has to have one of 1, 2, or 3. Normally, a 10 sum will have 2 of them, but this one can't, because 2 of them are in those cells. So it can only have 1, and if you think about the combinations for a minute, now you need 2 digits higher than 3 in this 10 cage, and suddenly you know it's 5, 4, 1. That is a fantastic idea. Two sort of keystone shapes pointing at box 3. Brilliant. So we can take one out of those two cells. Now, what does that mean? One of these is a 2 and one of them's a 3. So we've lost a degree of freedom here. It means that this group of cells is either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. I don't know what that means. But it's true. I think it's true here as well. Must be, with the total being 31. Okay, we've got a 6, 7, 8, 9 quad in box 3 because we know where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are. So this cell in the 12 cage has to be at least 6. Well, that means these other two can't be more than 5. Maybe this puzzle is going to be about 1 to 5 rather than 1 to 3. I don't know. Okay, what else have we got? Right, again, let's remember that these cells can't include 1, 2, or 3. They can't be 4, 5, because that would need a 4 there. 4, 6 would also need, no, 4, 5 would need a 5 there. 4, 6 would need a 4 there. So they're more than 4, 6, which actually we knew because this is 3 or 2. So they add up to 11 or 12. So they're either 4, 7, 5, 6, 4, 8, or 5, 7. Well, they're not 9. You can't put a 9 here. You can't put a 9 here because the cage would be 9, 3, 2, and we can't have a 2 or 3 here because they see all these cells. So 9's in one of those two cells. That's right. Is that true here? Yeah, you can't put a 9 in here. It would have to be 9, 1, 3, and we can't have a 1 in there. So 9's in one of those cells. Now, what does that mean for 8? Oh, you could have 8 here. 8, 3, and 2 there. That's all right. Oh, I thought maybe because 13 is one less than 14, I thought that was more restricted. Okay, we've got 9 in one of those two cells, 9 in one of those two. Right, 9 in one of those two means those can't be 9. 9 in one of those two means that can't be 9. And now we know where 9 is in box 3, and we've done a digit. The weirdest unboxed digit in box 3, the uncaged row 2, column 8. Didn't expect that to be our first digit, whatever I thought it might be. So we're going to have 9 in these regions. Then what? Does 8... Oh, 8 can't be in the 17 cage because it's too big. 8 there would need a digit bigger than 3 with it. So that could be 8, 4, and that would be 2. Then the 17 cage couldn't have a 4 and would be... Yeah, okay, this is something. Okay, where does 8 go in box 6? That's what I'm asking. And there are two types of place it can go. It either goes in the 14 cage or in those two cells. It doesn't go in here and it doesn't go there because their numbers aren't big enough to allow it. So if 8 is here, then it must be with a 4. That becomes a 2. Yes, okay, right, I've got it. Sorry, this is the way to express this. I worked out that this set of digits is either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which has 1, 7 and no 8s, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, which has 1, 8 and no 7s. Now that means that in box 6, after allowing for those, I'm still going to have either an 8 or a 7 left over, as well as a 9 that can't go in those 7 cells. So these two must be from 9, 8 and 7. That has to be right. And that gives me a quad in the column. That means 6 is in one of these two in the column and not there. It means these are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a weird quad. I'm just going to mark it in case I forget it. Now, I don't think this works as well up here. Or does it? No, yes, reformulating this. These are either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. And either way round, we're left with a 7 or an 8 that can't go into those cells. And we know that 9 is in one of these two. So again, yes, these are a 7, 8, 9 set. And that's a triple now. That's a 7, 8, 9 triple. So we get a 6 here. My goodness. Well, I wasn't expecting that number to be next either. So then we've got a 7, 8, 9 triple in column thingy, column 7 as well. Now 6 hasn't reduced those numbers down. But again, 7, 8, 9 and a 6 in that row. These are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That can't be a 1. Quite big in the 15 cage. Does that? No, that doesn't have to be from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, that would be amazing. If this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you'd have a quintuple there, and this digit would be high over 5. Oh, where does this? Right, here's something interesting. This can't be a 6 in this cell, because where would it go in box 6? It can't go in the cage, there's already a 6 in. It can't go in the column, there's already a 6 in, and those are not possible. So this isn't 6, it's not 9, it's not 8 here, because those can't add up to 9. Can it be 7? That would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and that would be 5. And these would have to be at least 6, 7, and that would break the 14 cage. Well, they couldn't be 7 if that was 7. So this can't be high. This is low. This is, well, let's put in, I have a feeling it's 1, 2, or 3, but let's put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have to work through the other possibilities. But that's given me a quintuple in row 7 of all places. Ah, yes, yes, yes. So that gives me 6, 7, 8, 9 in the row. Okay, so let's do some colouring of highs and lows. We'll go purple for low. Just trying to respect colour blindness here. I don't know that this is all necessary to do, but it's quite interesting. Oh no, it's this cage, isn't it? Look, 7 and 6 are the minimum there, so that is 1 or 2. And even at 2, this has to be 6, doesn't it? Yeah, if that's a, sorry, even at 1, if that's a 1, these can add up to 14, but since they can't both be 7 in the same cage, that would be 6, 8. So this is always a 6, and those aren't. And this can't be 9 now, because that would be 15 in the two cells. Yes, of course. So 9 goes here. It hasn't resolved. These two add up to 9. Oh, come on. Now, okay, this cell, this surely has to be low as well. Let's just work that out. It's clearly not 9. If it was 6, it couldn't go in any of these cells and therefore wouldn't fit in box 2 anywhere. If it was 8, This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, but that would become a 5. This would have to be at least, oh, this could be 6, 7 then, and that would be a 2. If this was 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no, 6, 7 add up to 13, you numptician. That's a numpty mathematician this time. Right, if they were 6, 7, this cage is broken. So if that was an 8, 1, 2, 3, 4 there, 5 there, 6, 7 there, broken. If that's a 7, 1, 2, 3, 5 here, 4 there, still, well, 6, 8 now, that's even more broken. So this is not 9, 8, 7 or 6. This is purple. That's the clear conclusion. That means all of these are green, and that's really important. Here, with 6, 7, 8 or 9 here, 13, this, sorry, just to remove the pencil mark, this cage total is 16. So this is 1, 2 or 3. Oh, look at box 7 and an intriguing green quad. That's the value of colouring. I now know all these are purple. Oh, baby, that's brilliant. Look, 6 can't be in those two cells, so it is in this green quad in one of these two. So it's not in these two cells. And look what that's done to this 16 box. Even though it's one more than this box, it's now more helpful. Thanks to the 6 being in the 15 box and down here. This can't be 6. The minimum for these two is 7 and 8. So that's what they must be. Take out the 9. This becomes a 1. That fixes this as a 2. And suddenly we're cooking with gas. We can put in a 7 in this 15 cage. I might as well colour those as well. Yes, hang on. That looks up here. 8 there. 7 there. 8 here. 9 there. This is a 7. Oh, this is... Oh, look. This sees 7 and 8. So that's 9. That's now an 8, 6 pair. This is wonderful. So that can't have an 8. That's a 7, 9 pair. This becomes an 8. 9's still going to be in one of those. Oh, brilliant stuff. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Right. Where does 8 go in this box now? That 8 is really useful. 8 can't be in a 17 cage, it just never can. 8 is in one of these two cells with a number that is more than 3, because otherwise it blocks a 3 out of this, 3, 2 or 1 out of this cage. So 8 and 4 it's going to have to be with a 2 there. So we get the 2. That becomes a 3. These both have to be bigger than 3. Yes, because although only 1 and 2 are forced into that cage, now they're in a cage with a 3, so they're both bigger than 3, so they are 4 and 6. That can't be a 4, so there's a 7 in this cage, this 18 cage, which is therefore 1, 2, 3, 7, 5. Do I not know more? Oh, 4 has come out of there. Oh, 4 has also come out of there. So 4 in the corner, keeping its religion. Oh, these... this can't be a 2. This can't be a 3, but actually this can't be a 3 now either. So this must be a 6, 1, 5 cage, one way or the other. These don't have a 2. Does that make this a 2? Not necessarily. 9, 7, 4, 8. Oh, hang on. These now have a 6 in. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 cage. That's not a 4, obviously. I don't know. I feel like, oh, that 6 is looking up here. So 6 and 4 are done. I might stop colouring. I don't think it's going to matter anymore now. 6 and 6 puts a 6 here. Now, what do these 3 add up to? Do you know the secret? Have we used the secret yet? 45 being the total of each row, box, and indeed column. But here it's the box. If this box adds to 45, take away 21, you've got 24 left. Take away 1 and 2, you've got 21 left with a 6 in. Well, it can't be 696, so it's 687, and we can fill in 8 and indeed 6 and 7. And this is a 9345 cage with the 9 there. That one can't be a 4. It's got to be a 9 down here. It's not interesting, except it can't be in the 17 cage. Those don't have a 7 in, so 7 is in one of these two, and one of those two, and one of these two. Might as well keep doing that. One of these is a 4. Those don't have a 2 in. Or a 6. But there has to be a 6 in this cage, so it's in one of those two. Oh, and a 2. Is that a 6-2 pair? Yes, that's a 135 triple. Ooh, this is weird. So that is a 6-2 pair. 6-2, 8. What's that doing? Not a lot. That can't be a 3. It's definitely a... oh, so there's a 125 triple in this row. Yeah, that's okay. So this is a 7-8 pair. I feel like I'm just groping a bit blindly at this. Oh, look, there's a 1. There we go. No, I'm not groping blindly. That's sorted out 5 and 1. Right, now, these don't have 3, 5. That's a 1, 2, 4 set. In fact, 5 comes out of those two and goes in this cell. 1, yes, 1 comes out of those and goes in this cell. This becomes a 5. That's a 1. That's a 3 and a 1. This is a 7-6 pair. This is a 9-3 pair. Yes. Why? Yes, I can do it here. 2. The symmetry is gorgeous in this puzzle amongst everything else. This is now a 2-6 pair, and we can't have a 1 in those. So 3, 4, or 5 in this 11 cage. Well, it can't be 4 because we can't put a 7 here. So that's 6 or 8. That's not 1, 2, or 3. Oh, those don't have a 5 in. Oh, those don't have a 1 in. Yes, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cage is coming alive a bit now. 3 must be in one of those 3 cells in row 7, so it's not there. 2 must be in one of those 2 in column 3, so it's not there. This is a 4, 5, 9 triple. Actually, no, 9 can't be here because that would make this 7, and that would all bust the 16 cage. We'll get to 16 without using the last digit, so that's not a 9. So 9 is there. That makes that 7. That puts a 9 in the cage with 4 or 5. So this is a 2 or 3 to complement that. So the 7 fixes 8 and 7. How does that not finish this off? I don't know. That's not a 5. Oh, is that a 4, 5 pair? Yes, that's a 2. Right. So that's not a 2. That's a 1, 3, 4 set. So that's a 5. Oh, that 15 cage was much more useful than it was at the start anyway. Now, can that be a 1? No, it can't, because 9 is in one of these 2 cells. And if that was a 1, that would have to be a 9, 7 pair. So that's a 4. These two add up to 13, and they're not 6, 7, or 4, 9. They're 5, 8. That sees that cell. That sees this one. 4, 7. They can't have a 4 in. or a 5. So that's a 1, 2, 3 triple. Wow, that was unexpectedly helpful. Oh, why haven't I filled this in the 16 cage? It's a 3. That's a bit more straightforward. Right, 1, 2, 6, 5, 8, 4, 7, 3 or 9 there, also 3 or 9 there. Now, the 3 is looking up to the 11 cage, which is now 5, 6. That's fixed 2, 6. That fixes 1, 2. Thought this was going to be a 1 for ages, but it's an 8, which deals out 4, 8. We get a 4 there. That's a 2. And I think we're finishing now. 3 and a 1. This has been an absolute ride. What a puzzle. 9, 3. That's a 9. That's not. We've got 2, 4, 7. I can write them in. 4, 2, 7. Must be able to do this. I can do the 7 up here. Maybe I can't do the 3, 5 yet. That's a 1, 3 pair. Yes, they're done. That does the 3, 5. Right. 5, 3, 5, and 8. That is a beautiful, beautiful puzzle. Oh, I did not get the tick, which means I've done something wrong, and that's very, very distressing. Right, I've written 2 3s down here. That's all I've done wrong, is write the wrong digit here. There we go. Whew! Okay, sorry about a typo. I don't think that spoils the utter, utter beauty of that puzzle by Toolcat. Toolcat is so good at constructing Sudoku, and that is just another masterpiece. I loved it. Loved it. Oh, I'm glad I saw the keystone thing. Could easily have missed that. I mean, you probably can prove that these are 1, 2, 3 slower by working examples and things, but I wouldn't like to have gone through that. It's a really good puzzle. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, as always, on Cracking the Cryptic. Do engage with us in any way you like. Join our Patreon. There's still a week left to enter the Guess Again competition. But it's always fantastic to see you. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.